Hi, today we're talking about the actress Dominique Dunne, who died in 1982 at the age of 22. There is only one copyright-free photo of Dominique that I can find, and there aren't many other copyright-free photos available, so I've done the best I can with this one. Dominique Dunne was an American actress. She was born on the 23rd of November 1959 in Santa Monica, California. She was the daughter of Ellen Beatrice Griffin, known as Lenny, who was a ranching heiress, and film producer and writer Dominique Dunne. She was the goddaughter of Maria Cooper, daughter of actor Gary Cooper. She had two older brothers, Griffin and Alex. Griffin Dunne is an actor and director. She had Irish and Mexican ancestry. Her father's side was Irish American, her maternal grandfather was Irish American, and her maternal grandmother was Mexican American. Her parents divorced in 1965. After she finished school, Dominique went to Florence in Italy, where she learned Italian. Her dream was to become an actress, so she studied acting at Milton Katzella's workshop and then gained experience acting in stage productions such as The Mousetrap and West Side Story. Her on-screen debut happened when she was cast in the 1979 television movie Diary of a Teenage Hitchhiker. I've watched this. It is on YouTube. Charlene Tilton, Lucy Ewing from Dallas is in it. Also Christopher Knight, who was Peter Brady in the 1970s TV show The Brady Bunch, and Katherine Hellman, who was Jessica Tate in the sitcom Soap. Then she was cast in a TV drama series called Family, where she had a recurring role as Erica, and she was Paulina in a comedy series called Breaking Away. She also appeared in TV shows like Lou Grant, Heart to Heart, and Chips. I was a fan of Heart to Heart and Chips. Eric was sexy, wasn't he? I used to love Chips. She was in an episode of Fame called Street Kid, where she played Tracy. Fame was my favourite TV show in the 1980s. I loved it. Dominique is best known for her role as the teenage daughter Dana Freeling in the 1982 horror film Poltergeist. But in 1981, Dominique went to a party. This turned out to be a huge mistake. She met John Thomas Sweeney, who was a sous chef at a fancy restaurant, Mar Mason, in West Hollywood. They were both attracted to each other and began dating, and very soon got a house together. Their relationship started well until poor Dominique found that John had a controlling and possessive nature, along with a fierce temper. Domestic violence was the next step. It was reported on the 27th of August 1982, John pulled handfuls of her hair out during an argument. A few days later they reconciled and the relationship limped on. On the 26th of September 1982, during an argument, John placed his hands around Dominique's neck and started to strangle her until a friend intervened. Dominique had had enough of his treatment and broke it off for good. Her final television appearance was in an episode of Hill Street Blues called Requiem for a Hairbag. The episode had been filmed on the 27th of September, the day after John strangled her. The part she was playing was of an abused teenager. Dominique hadn't needed any makeup to masquerade as bruises. The bruises were real. The episode was shown shortly after her funeral. On the 30th of October 1982, Dominique was at her home, 8723 Rangeley Avenue, West Hollywood, Los Angeles, California, the home she had shared with John. Here it is. She had won a role in the miniseries V and was rehearsing lines with fellow actor David Packer. John showed up at the house in a bid to get her to reconcile with him. Dominique unfortunately ventured out of her house to speak to him, and he strangled her to death. David Packer called the police and also rang a friend and left a voicemail message saying if he died that night, John Sweeney was responsible. When the police officers arrived, John put his hands in the air and said, "I killed my girlfriend and I tried to kill myself." There was no evidence that he tried to kill himself. Dominique was taken to Cedars-Sinai Medical Center in Los Angeles and placed on life support. She never woke up from the coma she was in. On the 4th of November, she was taken off life support. Her kidneys were donated to 2 patients in the hospital, and her heart was sent to a San Francisco hospital. John was originally charged with attempted murder. When Dominique died, he was charged with first-degree murder. He pleaded not guilty. He was also charged with the assault with intent to do great bodily harm for the 26th of September assault. He denied assaulting Dominique on that occasion. Unfortunately, the prosecution called Lillian Pierce, one of John's ex-girlfriends, to the stand, but she testified when the jury wasn't present. This was one of John's lawyer's power moves. She stated she had been hospitalised due to the injuries John had inflicted on her during their relationship. On the 21st of September 1983, the jury found John guilty of voluntary manslaughter, and he was found guilty of misdemeanour assault for the 26th of September incident. On the 7th of November, he was sentenced to 6.5 years in jail for manslaughter, which was the maximum sentence for that charge. He also received a 6-month sentence for the 26th of September assault. Dominique's family were outraged along with many other people. It took him between 4 and 6 minutes to strangle Dominique. It wasn't a quick thing, and it was long enough for him to realise what he was doing. John Sweeney was incarcerated in a prison in Susanville, California. He was freed in September 1986 after serving 3 years, 7 months and 27 days of his sentence. He changed his name to John Mora. Dominique's best friend found a letter Dominique had written to John, which was read during the trial. It told of how jealous he was and how he needed to accompany her everywhere. Also how scared she was of him. The letter is written in full in Dominique's father's book, Fatal Charms. Dominique's scenes in the TV series V had to be reshot. She was replaced by Blair Tefkin in the role of Robin Maxwell. In Series 1, Episode 1, which is named Part 1, they kept in a shot of the back of her head in a group scene. The series is dedicated to her memory. When John was released, he got a job working as a chef in a restaurant called The Chronicle in Santa Monica. The Dunne family found out, and Dominique's brother, Griffin, pictured here, and her mother stood outside handing out flyers to customers that said, "The food you will eat tonight was cooked by the hands that killed Dominique Dunne." He had to quit and move out of Los Angeles. Dominique's mother and Marcella Leach founded an organisation called California Center for Family Survivors of Homicide. It changed its name to Justice for Homicide Victims, which offers legal support, counselling and other resources. Dominique Dunne, Dominique's father, also claims to have ruined the judge's life. Dominique was buried in Westwood Memorial Park, 1218 Glendon Avenue, Los Angeles, California. Her plot is in Section D, L193. This is my photograph. I've been to this cemetery 3 times and have always stopped at her resting place. That was awful, wasn't it? She was only 22 and he didn't even get charged with murder. No justice for her, no justice for her family. But if you like this video, please like, share, subscribe, press the notification bell, and I'll see you in the next one.